3, 4. Oh, I didn't see you there. 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 8 1,000. Folks, we got another story today. The story of how my pecs couldn't stop moving once again. You watched my part 1 video of me with my I love my boyfriend tank top. That was a made up story, okay? That wasn't a true story, because any man that really does see my pecs, okay, he actually just kind of runs away. They actually typically avoid eye contact with me. They typically do one of these. That's okay, folks, because I'm a strong, independent woman. So, anyways, today's story, I was at another grocery store, but this time I didn't go to Wegmans. I didn't go to Walmart. I went to the international market. People from all kinds of colors. We have orange, we have black, we have white. I typically like white chocolate. I typically like vanilla. But I can go both ways, you know. But I think that, white vanilla, they typically will surrender. My dark chocolate brothers, they get a little intimidated by me, so I can't be having that. But some of my dark chocolate brothers, they really like my pecs. And so, anyways, so I was in the fruit aisle because I was trying to get some melons. I wanted big melons because I like big melons. So I saw this really big melon, and this big melon was green, but it wasn't quite ready for me to buy it yet. So I decided, I'm going to buy this melon, and I'm going to save it for the right moment in time when I find the right guy to share the melon with. So anyway, I was in the aisle, checking out the melons, and then I see this tall, handsome gentleman. He was like a blonde, dirty blonde, handsome, kind of green, blue eyes, kind of like a blend. He had this pasty white skin that I just like loved and adored. It just caught my eye. So, anyways, I make eye contact with him, but more importantly, my pecs did all the talking. I go up to him, right? And I'm like, hey, I'm Yelena. And then he looks at me like this. He's like about 6'3", about 6'1", 6'3", so obviously I like tall guys. Heck down, so when he's about 6 feet 6'3", it's almost like a hurricane is just about to come over him. He just doesn't know when he's ready. It's like boom. So anyways, I try to make a move, but typically ladies don't make moves, right? And I'm a lady. I'm kind of old school. I do the look. The look. You know what I'm talking about. When the girl likes you, she gives you the look, but not just any look. She gives you she looks down and then she looks up. That's when you know she wants some of your melons. So anyways, it's pretty easy for me to do that to a tall gentleman because I have to quite literally look up. But with this person, I didn't just look up. I flexed up. He got scared just a little bit. He got a little intimidated, I could tell, because of his eyes. But his eyes were really dilated. That shows that he was attracted to me. Fun fact, in case you didn't know, if someone's eyes are dilated, that means they're attracted to you. Unless the light is in front of them, then yeah. Anyways, long story short, my pecs just couldn't stop moving because I was, a little nervous, although I typically won't admit that because my ego is as big as my pecs and as big as my thunder thighs and as big as my glute muscles, because yes, physique women, we have big glutes, unlike wellness girls that do it trashy. I'm doing it classy. All right, anyways, so back to the story because I keep getting off topic because my pecs literally can't stop moving right now. I'm trying to do 2 things at once, but it's kind of hard to do right now. Go up to this guy, look at him, I do the typical, eye, look down, look up. I crack a joke, right? I crack a joke while I'm flexing my pecs. But mind you, he doesn't listen to my joke. He's just staring at my pecs. And so I tell him, hey, eyes up here, buddy. Okay. Anyways, my joke was, hey, what kind of shoes do chickens wear? And he says to me, Mikey. I say, Reebok? And he's like, so anyways, folks, that didn't go so well. And it was a little awkward, but I realized something important, okay, which is to keep your head up no matter what. And no matter how big your pecs are, don't let anyone get in your way. And even though moments like that made me feel, a little bit large, I thought to myself, well, I'm going to get my melons and I'm going to try again. So I tried round 2. So I basically just went up to this gentleman and I said, excuse me, I think you're a very attractive man. Will you massage my pecs? And of course, you know what he said. He said, of course I will. And I said, so you like my pecs? And He said, I do. I do like your pecs. I said, but you didn't like my joke. He said, no, I didn't like your joke, but your pecs made up for it. So that's it, folks. That's the story of my pecs couldn't stop moving and how it came to the rescue to save the day. And that's what sold this gentleman to say yes to me. But more important part of the story is that this guy doesn't just like me for my pecs or my long arms and my huge biceps and my huge thunder thighs. He also likes me because I have a great personality. Not to mention how smart I am, unlike wellness girls. All right, folks, so that's the story on how my pecs couldn't stop moving. So if you need to, save the day and ask that girl out or ask that guy out, all you got to do is develop your pecs, grow your biceps, and remember, it's all about confidence, folks. Always keep your head high and have a great day.